Hello and welcome to another Kid Stories Podcast Story Starter, where I give you the beginning of a story and you finish it. Here's today's story starter. It was a cold day, and Lila was out in the woods near her house. It was really a bit too cold for her liking, but as usual, she would rather be out in the forest than at home. All she had at home was homework and chores and her annoying sisters. So she came out to the woods nearly every day to hang out. There was one spot, a ways in, where there were 3 stumps that made good chairs, and she hung up a hammock near there too. She was heading down to her stump spot when strange sounds got her attention. There was like a soft whirring sound and a faraway beeping. At first, she hoped, that maybe some other kids from the neighborhood came back here to play too. So she started off in the direction of the sounds. She went slowly, being sure to keep track of where she was and where her house was behind her. The noises got a bit louder, and through the trees, she could spot where they were coming from. She could see that the sounds were coming from something. It looked metal, but it didn't look like anything familiar. There were pale orange lights lit up, casting a strange glow on the forest floor. She stepped closer and closer, peeking out from behind trees as she neared. And as she got closer, she noticed more details. It was round and it was big enough for maybe 4 people to fit inside. Layla got closer and closer and closer until she could see it completely. And what she saw, she could hardly believe. It was a spaceship, like the flying saucer kind, and it looked real. Well, of course, Layla had obviously never seen a real spaceship before, but this didn't look like a fake one, like a novelty one you would see at a theme park or something. She looked around and saw nothing else in the forest with her. The ship was a dark silver metal and looked like it was propped up on landing legs, and there was a ramp underneath leading up into the ship. She got closer and closer to the ship, surprised at her own bravery. She looked up into the ship from below, trying to see if there was anything else inside, or anyone else. "Hello?" she said, and there was no reply. So she said it a little louder. "Hello?" Nothing. So she did the craziest thing she had ever done before, and she walked up into the ship. There were blinking lights and screens all around. It was a small space, with no other rooms or doors or anything. She could quickly tell that there was no one in here with her. 2 chairs were bolted to the floor in front of computer screens, and she sat down at one of them. The computer reacted, somehow sensing that she was there. The screen flickered to life, and a voice said, "Auto repairs complete. All functions normal. Ship readied for departure." And the first thing Layla thought was, English! The ship speaks English. This made Layla wonder if it was made by humans, like some secret NASA project. Or maybe the ship's technology was so advanced that it knew she was an English-speaking human. A holographic image of Earth projected in front of the screen. Layla reached out and moved her hand along the projection of the globe. The hologram turned with her touch, as if she were turning a real globe. She tapped a spot on the globe, and the computer spoke again. "Hobart, Tasmania. Set as destination?" The words flashed before her and hung in the air, waiting for her to tap the box that read, "Set as destination," or the box that read, "Cancel." And then Layla realized that she could go anywhere right now. Tasmania, Mexico, Ireland. She could tell the ship to fly her anywhere. She pinched her fingers on the holographic display to zoom out, and realized that she could also choose other destinations off Earth. There were planets marked as habitable on the display, even ones marked previously visited. Now Layla seriously considered it. She could fly far away, or she could go someplace close. Anywhere. She could go anywhere right now. And now I want you to decide how the story continues. Does Layla go someplace in the ship? Does she wait for the person who landed the ship to return? Does she run home and tell her sisters or neighbors about the ship and lead them back into the woods? I want you to think about how the story will continue, and don't worry about an ending. Just think about what happens next, and what happens after that, and after that. I would love to hear your stories. You can share them with me at kidstoriespodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Adios.